Hello, hello, this is JilliBling. How are you today? I have a project to share that I love. I had no idea it would turn out so cute. Goes together so easy. No coloring, just a little bit of assembly, but isn't that just pretty? But wait, check this out. Look at that. And then, look at that. Okay, so I've been made aware that I do too many layers on my cards and put too much stuff on them. But you know what? This is where my heart is. That is just so pretty. I would love to receive this. So that's what you get with me, is you just get over the top cards. So this project came from Katrina. She made this one, and this is the magnolia paper. Little double bow, and she has Velcro on hers right here, just a little bit. And then on the inside, she made a nice greeting, a bit of texture. Thank you for Katrina. I love this card. She did heat embossing. I did just plain. Guess I could have embossed it, but you know what? It's pretty just like that. So this is my version of the Katrina card. So I want to do one other version today. So I'll keep that nearby. Mary Snowflakes has great greetings. Oh, I kind of like the swoosh. The inside, after putting all this together, I wanted to keep it simple, but the swoosh might be cute in there. And this is all about these dies. It is Delicate Baubles dies, and there are 4 different ones. Today we'll be using the one that says Joy on it. Okay, you ready? Let's get started. Okay, so this one has a red bow. Whatever red, because I'm using red foil, whatever ribbon you have that will match, that's great. But I want to use the crinkled seam binding white, which is right here. Okay, this little piece goes on the inside, and I want to, you know, these words right here, they fit so perfectly. I want to do that again. Okay, we'll get to all this in just a minute. So this stamp, the shape of the rubber around the words is a little bit deceiving. So I should put a note on this. I put it on the block so that these words are parallel with the top. Not that I tried 2 times, crooked, crooked. Okay, so plain old memento. And the top of the block parallel with the top of the paper. See, to me that looks crooked, but it comes out pretty good. Actually, maybe it could have gone up a little bit, but it's much better than those first 2 tries. And you know, while I have this out, oh, I'll do that in a minute. I have them on Stamparatus, the stamps. So this goes inside of this textured paper. And I have it here ready to run through. And you know, I did a separate piece of paper because trying to run through the paper base, this piece right here, this is getting confusing with all these pieces out. But after you start getting the pieces ready, all of a sudden it will all come together, especially if you have the samples right there. Okay, so at first I thought I don't want to put 2 pieces of paper into here. So then I tried doing it like this, getting it all lined up, which was good. But they always say when you're putting your embossing folders into the Big Shot, do hinge first. My Big Shot isn't that wide. So then I thought I'd do it this way. But wait a minute, I'm not following the rules. I need to do it this way. So then I thought, well, let me just fold it under. But now it's not centered on the soft succulent paper. Therefore, another layer. This layer right here. So get this in here and just try to get the rectangle centered on your cardstock. And I'm looking at the print of these holly or these bayberry leaves. A little bit's hanging off, and a little bit over here is hanging off. So that's pretty much centered. It doesn't have to be exact, but just pretty much centered. here it is. So this just gets attached. Let's do that. Stamp and seal. This stuff sticks really well. I was working with it quite a bit and my fingers were almost raw. So this paper is just a little bit smaller than the base paper. Okay, there it is. And now this is going to go right here. So you could write on there. Yeah, you just have to sign your name or something. You don't have to write a book. Or you could put one of the letters inside. Okay, get that centered. That looks good. And this is going to go underneath, but before, oh, see how that's smaller? That goes on the inside. Oh, that could go in now. There's a bigger one. And it's just a plain old rectangle, and it just acts as an extra layer. You're like, wait a minute, that card folds open wrong. There's a plan. This is inside paper. We'll stamp on that in just a minute. So these, well, you know what? Just so you know, that's for the words, that's for the flap. This will go underneath, that's the flap. So, sparkly white and foil. And you don't have to use these colors, whatever you have on hand is just fine. So, there's 2 dies. And on this sample one, both the papers are the same size. So do you want to do your words in detail in sparkly or in red? Here it's done in sparkly. So I'm going to change it up. So detail is going to go on the red. And the big solid one will go on the sparkly white. There it is. I did it just a few minutes ago. So I have a warning when making your ornament. And it's just a light warning. It's more been there, done that. I wish I would have known, but we could definitely get over the hurdle. So when you're putting adhesive on the underside of this red foil, I was using liquid glue. You have to use just a little bit more than you think. Think about how much of the liquid glue is going to seep down into the cracks and crevices of the sparkly paper. Just a bit, not way too much glue, but probably more than you naturally would. Okay, and then it kept wanting to kind of curl up, so big stamp. It sat on there for, it's been maybe 10 minutes, and it's good now. Okay, so advice on attaching sparkly white detail to the bold red foil. If you get, so you put the glue on the back side of the sparkly white, if you get glue and just kind of smear it around a little bit, you could see the glue on the foil paper. So if you're aware of that, it's no problem. I do see a little bit of glue right by this Y, but because it dries clear, it's not a problem. But if I just plopped it down and had to scooch it a whole bunch, it probably would have messed up the foil. So I would want to throw it away. So just FYI. Okay, dies. We did the dies. We're done with that. It's dry. Let's keep this handy. Boy, I'm matchy. Okay, so this is going to go in here. This is for words. Okay, the Merry Everything, I have it on Stamparatus. Stamparatus is very nice. See how perfect it is? Let's do that. Put all these off to the side. And for Stamparatus, I like to take a stamp set, put it over here to hold the flap. Here is Stamparatus, Merry Everything. I have this Post-it on here just because I haven't cleaned it, and I don't want all of that ink to go into my pad. I like my pad to be clean, because if it was dirty and if I set that on there, you know I'm going to get ink on there. Okay, so way up in the corner, Memento. See how this supports the plate? What's good about Stamparatus is if I don't get full coverage, I could do it again. Marry everything. And it looks pretty good. I could live with it, but I see just a few little spots that didn't get full ink. So I am going to do it again because I can. Yeah. That looks really good. Okay, so that's done. Okay, marry everything. Get it its little plate. So that one's done. Now let's do this one for the inside. Inside paper, and you know, thinking about this, I set this up for a little bit of a bigger paper. So my words are going to be a bit higher, but I think it'll be just fine. Inside paper, it's right here. I do like how big and bold that Season's Greetings is. And isn't it pretty how you could see the inside of the paper? Ooh, I wonder if that paper would be nice. We'll try it. You probably know what I'm thinking. Okay, so putting this here, I'm going to scooch my, cause see how the words are not centered on my white paper? Well, I should fix it. I'm going to fix it. Because I did that for a card that I'm already done with. I lined it up. Okay, so I'm just going to set this here. Okay, so when, this is a good learning lesson, when you are lining up your words, just set them right where you want them. And I would set it on the white paper, but I know that there's some ink on it. And I want to wait until I have it lined up just right. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. Then, after it's right where you want it, the paper is right where you want it. Close the door. Okay, let's try it. And if it doesn't work, I'll just flip it over. Because it's magic paper with two sides. Wonder if it's a little crooked, maybe. It's a little crooked. This side is down a little too. Oh, and it's over. Yeah. Okay, this is going to be kind of my tester here. So let me try that again. So I'm looking at the M. I'll put it right about here. Maybe. Good and sticky. Just what we want, right? Yeah, I don't know. Magic paper. Hope this works. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm going with it. Not putting too much on this. I could get it all decorated at the bottom, but that's okay. Okay, so I will trim this to be just a little bit smaller. Okay, so where are we on the project? We have lots of good pieces. You know, looking at this, I pushed a little bit hard on the end, but I think it will be fine. Okay, there's one with dimensionals on it. So to attach the flap, I was thinking it's pretty like this. Ooh, that does make it stand out better, huh? But it's kind of a little bit too monotone, I think. So I'm going to stick with this side. So to make the little flap, you could get it all measured and scored here or there, but this is a way to make it easy. I'm getting it right over the flap, or over the words here. And I like where this is. And then I'm just going to fold it. Okay, now that is folded. That's about where I want it. I'm going to make sure that the edges of the designer paper match up. Like, see this, how it's kind of over the edge a little bit, and this one is shy. Just scooch them a bit, and then use my bone folder to crease it. Okay, and now I'm going to put adhesive on, because it'll go like this. So I'm going to put adhesive right on here. And because I'm going to end up putting adhesive a little bit toward the inside, not right at the crease, and that's just because once this is in place, I don't want to see any adhesive there. So I'm going to stay away maybe 1/4 inch. So adhesive, and that's about 1/4 inch from the fold. And I'll show you where the fold is here in just a minute. So let me make sure that you can see that. See where the fold is? And my adhesive starts right here. So that is about 1/4 inch from the fold. Okay, so holding it in place, getting it right where I want it. That's covering up this panel right here. And now just fold this underneath. And I'm putting pressure against the fold and then sticking it in place. Okay, there it is. Now it all works. So now I'm going to put adhesive around the outside edge. That is so sticky. Okay, and just put it on this evening evergreen. This back evening evergreen is just 1/4 sheet of cardstock. That's all that's to it. It's happening. Okay, and do I dare? How does that look? Kind of gets lost that way, huh? I like it better with... Okay, it's going to be just like the other one. Or maybe you could go... Nope, that gets lost too. Okay, they're going to be almost identical. At first when I was putting the words on, I was putting them way over to this side. And then I thought, well, since the fold, so I tried to put them over here. It just looks better in the middle. But you could do anything you like. Okay, and dimensionals on my ornament. New dimensionals. So this is the first time I'm doing a video at night. Usually Tony's home, he's watching TV, and it's just easier to do it when he's not here. But he's out on a bus run. So I'm all amongst myself. And usually I get all ready and I have all my piles, everything all set. And my stuff that's already done over here. And I have to wait. But I don't have to wait today. Just doing it. Well, that's cute. Put the inside in. Glue dots. I love that ribbon. And I'm going to make these little tails smaller so you could read the word joy. Okay, there it is. Isn't that pretty? So the inside will just get stuck down. Room for you to write. No decoration. Look how easy this is. I'm sure that there's a name for this fold. I think I'll call it the Katrina fold. I've held on to that card since last year, or earlier this year. Like spring. Okay, there it is. Here are the projects. joy ornament. Woo! Okay, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, have a great day.